Melissa, Trump's appeal to the Supreme Court is pretty narrow, asking the justices to let the special master review the classified information seized from his estate. I wonder what you think Trump gains or could gain from the process other than stalling the investigation.
Again, Alicia, it's a very narrow request to the Supreme Court. It's actually not even asking the Supreme Court to do what would be the most important thing here, which is to stop the Justice Department from using those classified documents in their criminal investigation. It's really just to put those documents back in the hands of Judge Dearie. But I think, as you suggest, what it does is run out some more time on this clock. So we've already got a week for the Justice Department to respond. And then the court, which will probably, this will be referred to the court as a whole, won't just be decided by Justice Thomas, it's very likely. But the whole court will then have an opportunity to decide this. And they don't actually have a timeline for doing that. So that could add some more time to this. And of course, Judge Dearie had hoped to complete his review by the end of October, and we're getting really close to that.
We are very close indeed. Philip, you heard Maggie Haberman there on Meet the Press with Kristen Welker talking about how President Trump has paid $3 million to retain legal counsel. And I wonder, as someone who has followed this all very closely, what that tells you about how he views this investigation, how seriously he's taking it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that he at least has people around him who are making sure he has his heads up on this thing. I mean, it's important to remember, too, this guy has a ton of money that he raised after the election, some of which has gone to pay for legal fees. So it's also not as though necessarily that all of the money he's spending on his legal defense is coming out of his pocket. We've known for months, years even, that the Republican National Committee, for example, has been paying a lot of his legal bills as well. And so while he did make this, he did retain this attorney at that price, it's not necessarily the case that's coming out of his pocket, which obviously is something that always is a concern of his. That said, there are real legal problems that are looming over him, and I think unexpected ones, right? I mean, we've been paying attention to the January 6th committee all year long, then all of a sudden it turns out he has all these classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. I think the other question, too, is who knows what else is out there? And the longer that Donald Trump can drag this out as 2024 approaches, if he can make it seem as though this is related to 2024, I think he thinks that suits him well politically, and I think that may be part of his game.